What is the crammers rule? What is the crammers rule? So crammers rule is something we use, an expression that we use to solve simultaneous equation. Okay? So we also apply crammers rule to determine what the midpoint of two lines. Okay? So let's assume we have the first line and the equation of the first line is what? Let's say a okay a1 x plus b1 y equal to b1. Alright, that's for the first line. Okay, I hope that matter was visible. And the second one is what? A2 x plus b2 y. Okay, so let's just say, let's put 1 for each. So b2 y2 then b2. Now you have two separate lines. Let's assume these are the two lines. The first one and the second one. What would be the point of intersection here? You understand? So we apply crammers rule. And remember, when you have simultaneous equation, you can also apply this crammers rule. Alright, so now look at it. So to get your x, simultaneous equation you obviously find x and y. So to find x, that's the one. Watch how I follow my crammers rule. Now, to find x, I'm not going to operate with x. I will only operate with what? This and this, okay? Alright? So it's a kind of, you're looking for determinant, right? So this times this, right? Minus this times this. You understand that now? So P1 times this. P1 times this. So what do you get from here? Not this variable, the coordinate. That's V2. Alright? P1 times V2 minus this times this. Alright? That's P2 P1. You get it? This times this minus this times this. You understand that, right? All over, then this times this times this. So this times this is equal to what? A1 V2. A1 V2 minus this times this, that what? A2 V1. Okay? So for y, for getting s, I avoided this. So to get y, I'm going to avoid this. Okay? So to get y now, I'm working with these two. So for y, you say P2 times this, not this way then. This 2 times this, that's P2 times A, P2 times A1, right? Minus what? Or you can say A1, P2, right? Minus what? That's what? P1 and A2. All over the same thing here. That's this times this, alright? So that's A1, P2 minus what? A2, P1. This is the fastest way to get your quadratic equation. Alright? If you can just write them out this way, then you remember what I'm doing it. You understand? Then you are good to go. I hope you understand that. Alright? So now, what more profoundly, we need to look for, we need to establish some other points. At this point are, when we say, okay, looking for my gesture, okay. So when we establish other points, other important aspects. Now these are two major important aspects. The first one is, how do I find my equation of the line? That's the question. I've already said that the general equation of the line is y equal to mx plus c. That is the general equation of the line. But how do I get my equation of the line? Because you're going to see that question. Now, to get my equation of the line, the question could come in different form, okay? The first aspect, test case, let me just put test case. In the test case, you're going to be given 2 points, alright? 2 points, let's say S1, Y1, and S2, Y2. So when you are given 2 points and you say find the equation of the line that will join these 2 points, or that will pass through these 2 points, what's the equation of the line? The first thing is to get the slope. Alright? Why? Because the equation of the line is a function of the slope. What I say? The equation of the line is a function of the slope. How? We all know that the slope, let me use m for my slope. M is what? Y2 minus Y1 over S2 minus S1, as I have indicated in my previous video. Now the equation of this line is a function of this formula. So if I have my slope, to get the equation of this line, I will just make any of them unknown. Either the y2, s2 unknown, y2, y1 unknown, because the equation of the line you just have to, the difference between the equation of the line is just that there is variables, equation, there is sy, you understand what I'm saying? So I'll make any of this unknown, this one, any of the points unknown, either this point unknown or this point unknown. But as the case may be, this one will always be unknown, okay? So this one is unknown, so you have y minus y1, alright? Then s minus s1. So just make one unknown. So if I combine these two equations now, if I want to get the equation of the line, I will have, given 2 points, I will have what? y2 minus y1 over s2 minus s1 equal to, this one is unknown, y2 is now unknown, we don't know, alright? You know, but you're not putting it there, because at the end of the day, you want to have an equation, right? So y1 over what? S minus what? S1. This expression will give you the equation of the line. Mind you, remember, this will give you the slope, right? Then this other one will now give you an equation. When you cross multiply, you give it an expression. I'll always define it in this form, or in this form, y, right, plus let's say minus mx minus c equal to 0. You can do it in this form. You understand? Just equal to 0. You understand what I'm saying? Now, the next case is, in the case when you have just 1 point. They give you 1 point and they give you a slope, alright? So 1 point, let's say 1 point, s1 or y1, and the slope m. The slope could be any number, alright? Because when the equation of the line whose slope is 3 and passes through the point s, y or 2, anything, you understand what I'm saying? So when they give you that, very easy, just like what you saw in the other one, you have your slope and you make one unknown. Then you just put your s1 and your y1 in this case. So you have 1 point, you have one slope. Just say the slope equal to y minus y1, s minus s1. So these are the points given. This one was not given. I will not need it because we want to have an equation. You understand what I'm saying? So now the next case is the case when you have let's say you have a straight line, alright? The equation of the straight line, and you say find the equation of another straight line. You understand me? Find the equation of another straight line. Okay? So let's say I have a straight line, and it's what? Y equal to y equal to m y s1 plus c1. Right? This is a straight line. Find the slope of another straight line related to this. Okay? So I have that straight line parallel to this one. Okay? You understand what I'm saying? So these two lines are parallel. One was given, the other was not given. So you have to find this slope. If they ask you to find this slope, they will give you, you have to find the equation of the line. Alright? So we're going to discuss that in the next video. How to get the equation of the line when the two lines are parallel, or when the two lines are what? Parallel and perpendicular. Alright? Watch out for that. But what I will tell you before the next video is that the slope to this line and the slope of this line are related by the formula m1, m2 equal to minus 1. So the slope of this first line multiplied by the slope of the second line will give you minus 1. If they are parallel, so this is, if they are perpendicular, this is condition for perpendicular line. Then for parallel line, the slope of this one will be equal to the slope of the second one. So if they are perpendicular, it means that m1 is equal to m2. You can now use these two conditions to give an expression that will help you to find the equation of the second line. Thank you.